When you go woke, you go broke. I see you. I know you see me. You love to see it because I do. This is a big win, y'all. Big win for freedom of religion and freedom of speech. This opens up a can of worms. It's a clear example that we need to stand on our deen. Stand on what you believe. Stand on your principles and values. Do not bend, break, or fold. Don't be sold like a Judas for a couple pieces of silver out of cowardness because you don't want controversy of what you know is wrong. We do not have to bend, break to anything from these regressives, these woke ideologies. We don't have to participate into their charade of the clown show of a delusional mental illness. We know men cannot be women and women cannot be men. This ain't rocket science, y'all. We got a woke university that's paying the costly damages, $400,000 to be exact. Ohio University, to be more specific, State University, Shawnee State University has to pay $400,000 in damages after punishing a professor over preferred pronoun controversy. Now, we've heard this before. We've seen it on the internet. We know these people have intolerable behaviors. They're trying to force and expect people to play along with their charade, their clown show. And I'm sorry, we're just not doing it. And I love the outcome of this, man. Basically, this is a professor that worked at this university for over 25 years. And he filed a complaint and he won. And the reason why he won, I'll go back up real quick. Meriwether is a Christian and a professor of philosophy who has taught at Shawnee State for 25 years, sued the school violating his First Amendment rights, right? Shawnee State and Meriwether reached a settlement on Friday after unanimous ruling by the 6th United States Circuit Court of Appeals in March of 2021, found that the school had violated Meriwether's right to freedom of speech and free exercise of religion. Key thing, this opens a can of worms for us to defend ourselves from the tyranny which we see as being pushed in the workplace and school, politics, almost everywhere in our society. They're even doing job trainings on this crap. So this is Mr. Nick Meriwether. This is the professor right here. I want to go over a few things. So basically, in his class, political philosophies, that he's been teaching at this university, a student asked him a question and he responded, "Yes, sir." After the class ended, the student that identified themselves as a Tyrannosaurus Rex said that they're a woman and that they need to be referred to as a woman going forward, and any identities of a woman, any of their pronouns. Well, of course, Mr. Meriwether, as a Christian, said, "No, I can't do that because that goes against, that violates my religious beliefs," right? Meriwether said he could not comply with the students' wishes as they violated his religious beliefs that gender is determined from the moment of conception, that you can be only a boy or a girl, not vice versa. Moment of conception. So the court documents, this is the court documents. This ain't me saying it. This ain't some third party saying. This is what the court documents say. Court documents say that the student became belligerent when Meriwether, confused to comply, told him he would be fired. So now the student's threatening him, told him that he would be fired, and he starts calling him all kinds of derogatory names. Well, the student went on to file a complaint with the school, and this lady right here, Dean Roberta Milliken, the dean, pretty much reprimanded Meriwether and said that, told him to refrain from using gender pronouns at all in the classroom. Meriwether said this was next to almost impossible, and offered to refer to the Tyrannosaurus Rex student by their last name only, which the dean accepted the first time. The student then complained some more to the school twice more. Once Meriwether referred to him as Mr. The professor is based. Sound like something that I would do. But before correcting himself, he said, "Mr. I'm sorry," whatever, right? Then the student threatened legal action and pretty much took on another complaint in which the dean reprimanded him again. Meriwether offered to refer all students by their preferred pronouns if he could include a note in his syllabus stating that he was doing so under compulsion and setting in setting forth his personal and religious beliefs about gender identity. Good one on the professor. The dean obviously refused that as an option on the grounds that he is violating Shawnee's gender identity policies. She informed Mayweather that an investigation was being opened into the complaints against him, which later resulted in claiming that he created a hostile environment in the classroom. I had to read that because it's important. So we know there are intolerable behaviors. So we have someone that in the court document said when he didn't want to comply the first time, they began to become a belligerent, start calling him names and threaten the professor. But yet after another complaint and they kept pushing the issue and threatening, to me it sounds like this intolerable behavior, Tyrannosaurus Rex, is the one that's creating a hostile environment. How is it that we live in a world where the student is demanding for you to use pronouns that you clearly are not? You are male. We don't care what you identify yourselves as. The professor offered to try to work with them. They still said no, and they reprimanded him, which would have probably left it to where it was almost impossible for him to get a job somewhere else, which they said in the article later on, which would tainted his career where he couldn't go and get work anywhere else because of this crap. How is it that you can try to force someone to have to refer to you a certain way, not only call them out of their name, but threaten them, and then file an investigation, open investigation on them, to only reprimand you, us the victim, as we're the ones that created an environment, a hostile environment. You can't make this shit up, man. So basically, he files a lawsuit. You guys know the rest, and he wins. But I want to point out the judge before I close this out. Here's the judge right here, Judge Thapar, whatever, Judge Thapar. I don't know how to say his name. The judge is based. I love what he said in his writing, and I'm going to read it to you. This is what the judge wrote in his ruling, in his court decision. Thapar, circuit judge, traditionally, American universities have been beacons of intellectual diversity and academic freedom. They have prided themselves on being forums where controversial ideas are discussed and debated, and they have tried not to stifle debate by picking sides. But Shawnee State chose a different route. It punished the professor for his speech on a hotly contested issue, and excuse me, and it did so despite the constitutional protection afforded by the First Amendment. The district court dismissed the professor's free speech and free exercise claims. We see things differently in reverse. The district court decided this case on a motion to dismiss, so we can construe to the complaint in the light most favorable to the plaintiff. That means we must accept the complainant's factual allegations as true and draw on all reasonable inferences in Meriwether's favor. Basically, they're like, no, you guys are infringing on his freedom of, and on his right, his First Amendment rights as well. You know, this is when is it to where now we only can have one thought and no one can challenge anybody else's thought. So I thought that was important. Excuse my reading. I am a public school student. Public school students don't have the best education. So, but shout out to this professor, man, for standing on his ground, being an example, paving the way for us all. You know, Professor Nick Meriwether, in his own right, he did the right thing. He stood on his rights, his freedom to speak and to be silent by not conforming to the university's commands, the university's commands and demands on uniformity of thought. So, we know that you can only be born a boy or a girl. That if you're a Christian or any logical, sensible person, at conception, you know what you are. Not this, we can pick our gender because of how we feel. We can pick our gender because this is what we want to be referred to. It just doesn't work that way, and it's been like that since the beginning of time of life, man. And what's funny to me is if you're born a boy and you feel a girl, how do you know what a girl feels like? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll digress, man. Put in the comments what you think, what your thoughts are on this. I think this is a big win for us. Do you think we're going to see more and more of this? Do you think that this is a win in our behalf for those that don't want to go along with this? As always, y'all, this is a shorter one. I thank you guys for tuning in and watching. It's your boy Craig Long 45. If this is your first time, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I answer all my comments. I thank you guys for watching. It's your boy Craig Long 45. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, wait.